G'day guys, Trader Cobb here. It's the 19th of September and I just wanted to show you a couple of things. First things first, Bitcoin. So obviously we've hit 3,000, we've bounced back and I am remarkably bullish now, and I'll tell you why. The reason I'm remarkably bullish is because we had this pullback. It didn't quite get to 3,400, which is cool, but it set a higher low here and then pushed onto a higher high, and that new higher high has really been quite strong. It's been on some pretty good volume, good convergence there on the 4 hour. So therefore, like, when I'm looking for a trend reversal, I don't typically look at the really low time frames for a bigger picture trend reversal. I go to the daily and the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour, it can be more defined, as you can see this high low to high high. If you look at it on the daily, yes, you can see it, but it's definitely not as defined, is it? So, on this daily, for example, this lower high then lower low, that's when we saw that 4,000 break. Broke very, very strongly. Now we've come back up here. We're back above that 4,000 level, and I believe that, well, I don't believe, it's a fact. It is very, very, very bullish on Bitcoin now. The next thing we need to see, really, if it push on probably a little bit longer, I don't know, but it wouldn't be unhealthy at all to see it pull back into this little moving average zone, the buyer zone, and then look for it to continue on there. Maybe some trading opportunities may pop up. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. So what else do I like? Well, let me show you Counterparty. I just noticed this yesterday. It's actually come back and done a third test of a very specific resistance level. And here's the thing, right? If I jump out on this to the day, I like to, if I'm not fundamental, and I'm not fully fundamental on Counterparty. I know that they got a pretty good burn rate, I believe. So there are some fundamental reasons, but that's not why I like this. It's not a fundamental play. Mads is a fundamental man. I'm a technical man. But having a look here, I see potential for a trend reversal. Last time we saw a trend reversal, we saw this move up. It was a very good move. Obviously, it's come back off. But I mean, look, what I'm seeing here is there's a low here, higher low here, higher low here, and we are looking to run up into this resistance. Now, if we can pop out through that resistance, I believe that we may see a decent little bit of a run. Maybe back up to this round number of 0.005. Who knows where it may get to? As you know, with cryptocurrencies, the upside, it can be very difficult to target an upside. Best to just get in and have a plan as to how you're going to trade it. If it's purely a trade for me, probably something like a 2-to-1 would be what I'm after on something like this. But coming to the 4 hour, what I'd love to see on this, I'd absolutely love to see, say this create a higher low here. I'll just try and make it a little bit bigger. There we go. If this is the new higher low on the 4 hour, and then push up and retest that resistance. Why do I want to see that? Because I'd like to see a place where I can put my order to exit. So I'm not just going to buy this and hold this forever like some of the other ones that I've got in my bag, because I think that there's good long-term growth there, and a fundamental real world business idea that's got legs. This one is purely technical. So what I'll be looking for, if we find a low here and we touch, start to move back up into this resistance, the level to exit, or my stop loss I'll call it, will be 1 Satoshi underneath the low of this candle, and my entry will be 1 Satoshi above the high of this one. As it breaks out, I want to be in, and when I say I'm looking for, say, 2-to-1, whatever my risk is, I want my reward to be ×2. So if I've got, say, I don't know, let's just make it nice and simple, 100 Satoshi stop, then I want to see a 200 Satoshi target. So if it's going to be from here to here, if I just draw that in, if I do this, right, you can actually see that's my entry. So that's my entry up here, that's my stop loss there. So just roughly, 1-to-1's probably about there, 2-to-1's probably about there. So I would want to be exiting up around this point somewhere, around about that, for probably 4,200-ish. That is if we do not break down. I need to see, a higher low set and then a break. That they're the conditions for that trade. Okay. Now, what else is going on? Patient Tory sort of holding in its zone there. I just noticed this because it's broken out of the resistance, and I wanted to show this too because it is relatively similar to the Counterparty trade I was just looking at. Okay, so this is another example of a breakout. Price is actually, the line's probably a little bit more like that. So you can see price broke out very well, pushed on, came straight back down, retested that old resistance, which I really like. I like it when it's kind of like kissing the resistance goodbye, one last farewell. Good convergence now on the indicators. That breakout was on good volume, and a push onto the upside wouldn't be unheard of at all. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because it is a similar breakout type trade as what Counterparty is, but I believe there's a little bit more fundamental basis for a longer term move on Patient Tori here as well. So just to recap, Bitcoin, I'm very bullish. We're back into an uptrend, and yeah, I'm looking for opportunities to get into Counterparty for a breakout if it does so. Guys, I hope you're very well. I hope you're doing very well, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.